All right, hello. My name is Drew. We are here at the Goulet Pen Company, and we've got some new stuff this week, some new pens, and I'd like to sit down with you briefly and just go over some of the new, fun, and exciting, fresh pens that we've launched this week, the week of December 5th, 2022. So let's get right into it. Let's start with ST Dupont. So ST Dupont does not come out with new pens all of the time, so when they do, it's kind of a big deal. It's even more of a big deal in this case because they have branched further out of their normal price zone. Like, this is a luxury dealer. This is they're from France. They usually produce pens very much in that luxury price point. The Defi Millennium, which I have here in orange, red, shiny black, shiny blue, and matte black, is more affordable by contrast at $316. It does have a steel nib, but there are some interesting factors about this pen that I think we should all talk about and consider. So first off, it looks unique. It looks pretty European with its lines and angles and things like that. I really like the angles. It is a fingerprint magnet, I'm finding out. Look at that. That is so chrome trim on all of it. So it is metal hardware here. The black one has black chrome hardware, and you'll notice that this this happens because I probably shouldn't do this. It's an expensive pen. They are magnetic. So the cap, very much magnetic, and I'm talking like solid magnet. That is a very robust bit of magnetism there. So this is not going to be drying out on you anytime soon. One other thing I'd like to mention, here on the clip, you'll see a bit of inlaid lacquer in a strip, a black strip right along the clip, which is spring-loaded as well. Very nice clip. Extends past the cap just a little bit into the barrel too. Really neat design. You'll see ST Dupont is engraved here just above where the barrel meets the clip. And then once again, you'll see the ST Dupont D here inlaid and lacquered over right at the top of the cap as well. So this is something to talk about. This pen has a hooded nib, and this is not something you see very often. This is more of a retro design than something you'll see currently in the industry and on the market, but is a really fascinating look and really brings a sense of uniformity to the pen. It makes it look really sleek and gives a very interesting profile to have that nib almost fully covered up. You can see a tiny bit of the nib protruding from the hood here and the grip section, and then looking at the feed, you do see a little bit of the underside of the feed as well. And you'll also see that there is a little hole there for the ink to come into the pen. This is a unique design choice, and you might be wondering, is this hard to hold? Is this weird to hold? Is it slippery to hold? It's different. It definitely feels a little slippery to me, but personally, this is not a ton of space to hold the pen anyway. I'm not going to hold it there. I would hold it right here, up by the ST Dupont logo, above the step, because you do get a bit of a step from the barrel to the grip section when you have a magnetic cap like that, and that's pretty common. That's not something that is just the case with Dupont here, but really the amount of space between where this ST Dupont logo is, where the barrel begins, and the entire grip section is not that long. It's really a bit longer than a standard number 6 nib. So for me, it would not be weird to write like that. It really wouldn't. So that's what I would do. This pen is a cartridge converter pen, so you just unscrew the grip section here, and you will have a ST Dupont converter here. So it'll also take cartridges as well, the small ones. And that is that. It does post. So that again has a nice look to it. Uniform, chrome, orange, chrome. This orange, by the way, I don't know what it is about it, but I really like it. I'm usually not an orange pen person, but this matte orange is just not something you see very often, and it's striking. Again, we also have the matte red, which is a pretty similar vibe to the orange. Very cool to look at. And then the shinies, we've got shiny navy blue and shiny black. These very much have an ST Dupont look to them. And then the black matte. So this one is likely to be the most popular. It has a very different look, and obviously you'll notice that this, rather than a chrome finish, has a black finish in the hardware. Again, same with the grip section and everything like that. The nib, is the nib the same color? The nib is the same color. So it is a silvery steel nib on that. I was just curious. All right, confirm that. And again, solid cap there. So again, the Defi is 316. It is available now. If you're curious, check out our product page. We've got a lot more information there. There we go. Moving across Europe to from Paris to Italy. This is the Montegrappa Venetia. And Montegrappa is kind of special in the fountain pen industry because they have some celluloid. Celluloid is an old material that was once used in a bunch of different stuff, not only fountain pens, but these days it doesn't often get used because there's not a ton of demand for it. It's mostly an aesthetic appeal, but also there's just not a lot of it. It's hard to get a hold of because no one's making it anymore. Montegrappa still has some though, and every now and then they will come out with some new celluloid fountain pens, and the Venetia is one of them. So we are excited to see this. They have 4 colors. They've got a dark blue, a light blue, a gray, and what they're calling a lapis lazuli. We don't have that one currently for me to show you because we sold out of it because it's super pretty and very popular, but I'll add in a picture so you can take a look at that. All 3 pens are limited. They are out of 100, so there are not many of these left in the world. And when I mean world, I really mean the US because these are a US exclusive. So yes, you can get them in other parts of the world, but they are exclusively being sold in the United States. So that is also a big deal. Celluloid pens, Montegrappa, US exclusive, and only $900. I say only $900 because yes, $900 is a lot of money, but for an Italian celluloid pen, most of the time, it's north of $900. So I'm pretty excited about these. This is not a type of pen that comes along often. Not only are they numbered, but you will see that the gold hardware here and on the clip extends to a bit of trim inside of the pen as well. So the nib is gold. This is an 18 karat gold nib. It has a house-made feed made of ebonite, made in Montegrappa's headquarters, which is very, very cool. And then you'll see a bit of trim here, also in gold. This is not just trim though. These are threads, and it is a very, very short thread. It's just a single thread. It's very unobtrusive. Like you're holding it right there and you barely feel it. If anything, it provides you a little bit extra grip, but they are not sharp at all. They're very flat. At first, I took this off and it looked like a magnetic cap pen just because there's just nothing in your way here, but it is indeed a thread. So a very, very nice design choice there, and it flares out just a hint right there at the end of the grip section. The grip section, by the way, does unscrew. It is a cartridge converter pen included with a Montegrappa Standard International converter there. So it does indeed post, not super deep. It makes it a little long, but I don't know if you need to do that. It's a very, very nice pen, very nice set of pens, and the Venetia is probably going to be the only Italian celluloid pen we will have had all year. So I always get pretty excited about this. Perhaps you will too. Celluloid definitely has a strong fan base and following within the industry, and these are just objectively beautiful pens. So that's the Venetia from Montegrappa. You can get that for $900 on gouletpens.com right now. And staying in Italy, we're going to move over to a Visconti pen. And I've said every pen is special here, but this one is our exclusive. So this Visconti Opera Master is a gouletpens.com exclusive, and it is in a very interesting resin. This resin is known as Combustion, and it is made by Jonathan Brooks here in the United States, down in South Carolina. And Jonathan and us, we and Jonathan, there was a collaboration between the Goulet Pen Company and Jonathan Brooks, and we got this resin. I guess there was some added transparency to it so that when you had it turned into an Opera Master, a little bit more translucency came through. So you'll immediately see that there's a very, very strong fire vibe here. You've got your reds, your oranges, and your blacks. The oranges come through as shimmer. There is a goldy orange shimmer throughout the pen. Some spots are translucent, some spots are not, but it is an Opera Master, and these pens are usually pretty notable because the Opera Master is not a pen that Visconti always offers. Usually the Opera Master is reserved for special editions, limited editions, collaborations, and exclusives, so when one comes out, it's usually a big deal. I feel like this one definitely is a big deal because we haven't come out with an exclusive Opera Master from Visconti in quite some time. This one, standard Opera Master, if you want to call it Opera Master a standard, it will have the Visconti bridge clip, modeled after the Ponte Vecchio bridge, and then a V logo here on the finial. The spring-loaded clip is really nice for clothing you want to be gentle with because it doesn't have any sort of notch or hook there at the end. It slides on clothing and then off clothing without anything impeding it. And immediately you'll see that rather than a bright chrome finish, the Visconti Combustion Opera Master that we have here has a ruthenium coating on the metal hardware. So it is a dark gray in appearance. And right there you'll also see that it has the patented Visconti hook-safe lock mechanism, which is always fun to use and see and have, and it is effective in sealing your pen as well, because how it works is having an internal, an inner cap here in the cap, an internal cap in the cap, that is spring-loaded. So you press up against it, turn, and release, and then when you hook it back in, you're making contact with that spring again, creating a nice bit of pressure on your grip section so that your nib does not dry out. And again, you'll see that we have more ruthenium plating here on the grip section with this metal, and then another bit of ruthenium on the nib, which is an 18-karat gold nib made by Visconti in Italy. Going back to the material, you'll see that within the material, when you operate the double reservoir power filler by unscrewing this top knob, raising it up, you'll see that you can visualize a bit of the piston here. So the way the Visconti double reservoir power filler works, you press it down. It's a vacuum filler, so you press down, you build pressure, and then boom, once you hit that point, all of the ink that you have your nib submerged in will rush into the barrel, giving you a very, very large ink capacity with tons of time to write. You then can screw this down if you'd like to only write with what's in this second chamber, but when you release it here, you open up this main chamber so that you have constant flow from the main chamber to the second chamber to your nib. So double reservoir power filler. And then finally, let's talk more about this little knob here. It has some numbers on it. This one, so you'll see that each one of these has a number out of 88 pens. So these are only 88, exclusive to the Goulet Pen Company. They won't be around forever, but they're $920, so they're not going to fly off the shelves, but they will not endure for eternity either. So if you're curious, definitely put one on your list, and we would be more than happy to send it your way. So that is the Combustion Opera Master by Visconti. This one also does post, but that's a bit much. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a faceted barrel. Both the barrel and the cap have facets to them, so rolling is not a danger for this pen. But if you did want to post, you certainly can. That about covers all three of these new models. They are available now at gouletpens.com. If you'd like to know more, or would you like to see a writing sample of any of these, we have that online. The Nib Nook is your place to go for writing samples, and on each of their product pages we will have measurements, weights, capacities, all of that good stuff. If you'd like to learn more, we're here for you. Thank you so much. If you'd like to see more of these videos, do let me know. This is the first one. Otherwise, have fun, write on. Thank you.